All right, Pete, you want to jump in the chat?
Yep. If it would come up on my
I'll send it to the.
Ladies and gentlemen, raspberry tea bag.
force me burrito.
Fuck was that?
Almost every bumper that we've ever used.
All at once?
All at once.
That's terrific. I love it. All right.
It even included some of the new ones, like
It's just me laughing.
well, it that noise you make, yeah.
Yes, I understand. I get it. All right. How close are we to starting there, Michael?
We're very close.
I'm close. All right.
Very close.
Good stuff.
Hold still. It'll go off if you move. It's funny because we all know what it means. And I am recording, yes. Audio recording in place. Yes, audio recording is running. Check. Ooh, it's a little hot. Check. Can I get a level from everybody? Just hello or something.
Check 1 2 1 2 3. Check. Hey, Michael.
Yeah, that's hot. Pete
Check. 1 2 1 2.
and Danny.
Testing 1 2 1 2.
Oh, cool. We're good. All right. On your mark, Matt.
All right, let's do it.
All right. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, scumbag resigns post as mayor of College Park, Maryland amid kiddie porn allegations. Evicted woman in New Jersey threatens to blow up house but settles for arson and 30 roasted roof rabbits. In a triumphant return to our top three, disgraced Tennessee cop Megan Hall claims she did say no. All this stand-up comedy magician Danny Whitson, Maddie's TikTok nonsense corner, and in honor of Black History Month, we have nothing from Stanley in that regard because he didn't do that. But we do have another Just the Tips for you on this, the 122nd episode of the Media Virus Podcast. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us with executive producer Mike Latoris. We're going to start over. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
Grease Monkey Pete.
Damn, Big Daddy.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus Podcast. It's really well done.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rock Death.
Hot damn, do we have a show for you people this week. I am Matty Rockdeff, proof positive that anyone can have a podcast. Speaking of, welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share. I do want to take a minute to thank our new subscribers for checking us out and welcome in. You can always give us a call at 646-VIRUS-01. That is 646-VIRUS-01. You might make it on the show. Who knows with the shenanigans that we pull off here. We're going to find out more about this week's guest. He is a stand-up comic magician, Mr. Danny Whitson. How you doing, Danny?
Doing good, Matty, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm actually not. I'm actually, you know what's it's one of those it's one of those root answers that you know, how you doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing, fantastic, whatever. It's one of those things that you just spit out. And I got to admit, I'm gonna ask for a little bit of forgiveness from everybody because I'm a little less prepared than I normally would be. I received some news earlier today that I've been dealing with, and I've been trying to. It's hard to write funny. I found out that a beloved family member, like a younger family member of mine, is dying of cancer, and this will be the third, of the younglings of mine. And they're my nieces. My family's a weird dynamic. I'm the youngest of the elders, but I'm also like the oldest of the younger ones. And this is the third niece, that I'm losing. It's like a Schrodinger's cat right now. Like she's wasting away. It's going to be days. There's been a DNR sign, things like that. And but the first one, was the typical, heroin opiate addiction. You just watched it happen, and she just went into. And the only time you'd see her is when she came around to beg for money or beg for something or look for a ride, and then she just wandered around the neighborhood. The second one was a little bit more shocking. She was hit and run driver. This one being so young, and she has adult children that I've never met. Like we were close, like when we were kids, but she has adult children that I never met. And it got me to thinking that I'm like, you grow up, it's like as you grow apart, like it's like I'm kind of like I was talking to Mike earlier, like I'm kind of a terrible person. Like I've been a terrible friend to Mike lately. And I haven't really, like, I don't connect with people, and I feel kind of terrible about that, but I'm not as terrible as the mayor of I forgot the name of the town, Mike.
College Park, Maryland. He's now the former mayor. He resigned. Former Mayor Patrick Wojan was arrested Thursday on several charges of child pornography, according to city officials. The Prince George's County Police Department was notified by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children on February 17th that there was a social media account in the county posting child pornography, and police tracked it back to Wojan, 47, the department said. Officers carried out a search warrant on Tuesday and recovered a tablet, computer, storage device, and multiple cell phones from Wojan's home. Wojan said that Wojan, who was the College Park City Council, he was on the College Park City Council and has been the mayor of the city since 2015, was charged with 16 counts of distributing child pornography and 40 counts of possessing it. He resigned on
This is why we should always trust our public officials. You know what I mean?
Absolute scumbag.
But where, like, it's just, I mean, if he hadn't gotten caught, what would he, like, he obviously had political aspirations. What was he going to go for next? Like, how hard would it be really to run for the, the governor of Maryland? You ever been to Maryland?
Oh yeah, I mean it's not a tough run. I mean, once you've been on a ballot, you can probably get on a ballot.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Now, where do you hail from, Danny?
I am from you guys of course, you ever heard of Knoxville, Tennessee?
Of course, heard of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just right outside of Knoxville, but I always claim Knoxville because that's where most people,
That's the landmark people are familiar with.
Yes.
In your bio, it said Oak Ridge, right?
It is Oak Ridge, which is like probably 15 minutes from Knoxville.
I feel like, don't you feel like the Oak Ridge should be much more famous? Like the Oak Ridge boys, I think, are way cooler than Johnny Knoxville. If you know what I'm saying.
Well, here's the cool thing, Maddie. All right, man, I gotta throw some love Maddie's way. First of all, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. And this is something and this is mainly a Gen Xers only probably know who the Oak Ridge boys are anyways. But
Elvira.
I mean, yeah, but here's a little secret that people don't know when you hear Oak Ridge. I'm going to tell you what Oak Ridge is actually really famous for and what they're not. The Oak Ridge boys are not from here. So
you don't say.
A lot of people will, when they see that, that's one thing they do assume, but and a lot of people do that. But what Oak Ridge, Tennessee is famous for is during the Manhattan Project, they helped build the atomic bomb.
Thank you very much.
So
appreciate that.
It was Oak Ridge did not exist prior to World War II. So it was that's why it's called the secret. If you look it up, it's called the Secret City.
Yeah, like
this whole
nobody knew it was there.
Yeah, no one knew, and
it was undercover.
Yes, absolutely. The whole town is just, and it's really unique if you ever come here because a lot of cities all have a downtown. They have a historical downtown. Oak Ridge does not have that. Oak Ridge has sections. It's broken up because they didn't want the workers to talk. They didn't want a place where we could gather and talk. So very interesting.
That's fascinating. Again, trust your public officials. That's what.
Absolutely, baby. Trust them.
I mean, now, being down south Tennessee, I feel like this guy would have gotten maybe a different brand of justice. Do you think this guy would have made it through, like in Tennessee? Do you think we'd be hearing about it, or he'd just be in a ditch somewhere?
That would be bad news for him. I mean, it's first of all, I mean, yeah, that's the worst thing you could possibly, one of the worst possible things you could ever do, and according to whose children it was, I mean, yeah, he would have been smoked.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I don't think he made it. I think he just like got it and distributed. Still, it's victimization. I'm not, but I don't think any of the local town's children were affected by this. So maybe that's, why he didn't get because Maryland can be a pretty violent place.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The three of us are hailing from Delaware, which is a neighbor to Maryland on this peninsula.
Man, I've heard a lot of, I've never been to Delaware. I've heard some great things about that.
You haven't. Don't lie, man.
Beautiful. No, really. I've heard some really good stuff.
We were just having a conversation last week that Delaware is becoming very famous for our eateries, our food. Yeah.
Culinary travel.
Culinary travel is what's bringing people to Delaware. I'll be honest with you. I'm from I'm from New Jersey. I lived in Philadelphia for a long time, I got found work in Delaware, so I was commuting for the longest time. And there's just something. It's we're almost down south, so like the people are nicer, like in general than Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, yeah, baby.
Dude, I work in Philadelphia, and it's not.
The first time I went to Manhattan, walked into a Dunkin' Donuts, ordered a cup of coffee, and the lady said, "You have the nicest Southern drawl. Where are you from?" And I laughed.
She laughed and laughed.
That's such a weird thing. Is something that, like right now, and I know you guys know this. Right now, a big thing on TikTok is for some hillbilly or some idiot. They hop on TikTok and they make a stupid video. And they're saying all this silly crap, and they've got 1 million followers and all these views. It's because they're a freaking novelty, because the rest of the country has only heard about hillbillies and rednecks through movies and whatnot, and then they actually see these people are real.
You live with them.
Yeah. And it's, they're just so excited. It's just, it's almost like the modern day sideshow.
Yes. We don't have to go far. We're blessed with populations of hillbillies, very close. Both north and south, though. Most people think you have to go south for that, but in
Oh no, we have northern hillbillies.
Oh, absolutely.
in
Oh, yeah.
Pennsylvania, when you go west, you
Oh,
enter
yeah.
you enter an area of the state of Pennsylvania called Pennsylvania, and
Yeah.
But
Been there.
Yeah, just look for the idiot wearing the real tree outfit.
well, let's move on to the next story, Mike. What we got loaded?
well, next up, we've got a woman in New Jersey. New Jersey woman threatens to blow up home over eviction, then torches it with 30 cats inside. An eviction fight ended.
I don't know why this tickles me. It just does.
An eviction fight ended with a massive and deadly fire in New Jersey after a woman refused to leave her home that sources said she shared with dozens of cats. Police said that troopers went to the home in the Monmouth County town of Roosevelt after the woman had been served with an eviction notice but refused to leave and threatened to blow up the house on Cedar Court.
That's pure New Jersey too. I don't know.
I'll blow it up.
I'll
Now,
blow
are
this
you guys
place
cat
straight.
people? Are you guys cat people? We getting cat people in here?
Yeah.
I am not a cat. I don't dislike cats. I enjoy cats very, very much. The only reason I don't have a cat right now is because my wife is very allergic to cats, but I prefer the company of a dog.
Okay. Now I got both. Now, first of all, how many cats did she have? What was that?
30.
30.
Now that's actually there's a parasite.
Yeah.
That you've heard about the parasite.
Yep.
Like, is it like the cat? Can we cuss on here?
Hey,
Sorry.
go ahead. I don't give a shit.
There's like a cat shit parasite that you get so many cats, and next thing you know, you got to keep collecting
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I don't think I have that, but I've got 2 cats and I got 2 dogs. But I'll tell you a quick story real quick about my cat. Now, granted, I love the hell out of my cats, but I got a cat that's into some weird stuff. It's like some weird fetish shit. Like my cat Doris, she's obsessed with bra pads. So when you come over to my house, okay, there's bra pads all over the freaking house. And, me and my family, we've gotten used to it. It doesn't bother us. But one day, true story, a friend of mine, a comic friend, comes over and he's like, "Hey, dude, what's up with all these bra pads?" And I said, "Man, that's just my cat Doris." Seriously, he takes off running around the whole house. I say, "Man, where you going?" He's like, "I got to see the titties on this cat." I mean, cats, dude, or it's the main thing is they're like roommates. They're not pets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You still have to clean up their shit though. But can you imagine the 30 cats and you're talking and just, I can imagine that place and a person like that, you got 30 cats. There's no way she's maintaining that house.
Oh, hell no, dude.
So it's one of those like hoarder situations where there's like dry cat shit and nothing. I was explaining to my wife yesterday that shit is flammable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that house was.
It burns well.
Yeah.
Shit burns, and the dryer, like it'll burn wet, but it'll burn dry real good. And like people used to heat their homes on the prairie with fucking. People used to build their homes on the prairie with fucking cow shit.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Interestingly enough, a different way to read this story is woman cleans litter box.
No shit. There we go.
Joke of the day. But I mean, it's the mentality. Like you can't, I'll blow the house up. And then she sets the house. Like I'm sure she's worried about probably her main concern is what I'm going to do with these 30 cats. I know I'll set them on fire.
Damn, that's brutal, man.
Just after 11 a.m., police saw smoke coming from the home. Moments before it became engulfed in flames, sources said the woman turned on the gas in the house, then lit a match. Multiple fire departments rushed to the scene to put out the flames, but the woman did not survive, according to police. No other people were injured. Officials said that the flames were consistent with that of a natural gas fire. Emma Quackenbush, who lives in a house attached to the one set on fire, said her home is now unlivable.
So this bitch decided to fuck herself, 30 cats, and the neighbor.
Yep. So that was, that's awful. I mean, maybe she was just sick of cleaning the shit and she was looking for an easier method or
Well, I mean, maybe she had some of these. I went looking for a way to write a joke about this afternoon, and it took me to a dark place. So naturally, I'm going to take you guys there with me.
Thank you.
I'd
like to go.
I figured she was trying to cook some cats. So I mean, I found 7 irresistible homemade cat recipes.
I was going to say, don't
With
trust the
photographs.
special at the local Chinese restaurants.
That's racist. Dude, we went to this Korean barbecue for my wife's birthday where you like cook the food yourself.
Right.
The Korean barbecue is like right across the street from this big Korean like an Asian supermarket, because Asian food is becoming very, very popular right now.
Which is attached to a cat rescue.
Down the street is an SPCA, and I made that joke, and it's just me and my wife, and I read the riot act.
Now this cat looks extremely depressed, or this is a dead cat.
No, that's.
That cat's comfortable. I don't know what you're talking about.
Now that first pic, you got to look at the eyes.
Sedated. All right, so
They
look at
tricked
those
that cat into
dead-ass
believing
eyes.
That was a spa treatment.
They
No,
gave
I
that
think-
cat Xanax before that picture.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
I've never been able to cover my cat. You have 2 cats. Have you ever been able to cover them in vegetables and take a picture?
I've never been. Doris would beat the shit out of somebody if we.
It's all right. So listen, by next week, Danny, we're gonna need pictures of your cats covered.
Absolutely, we'll give it a shot.
What
This
the-
is who did this? Where the hell did you find it?
I Googled cat recipes, and this is what I ended up with.
Oh my god!
With photographic evidence.
You also wound up on a list. So
You're on a
and
watch list now, Mike.
The whole. I don't know. Do Chinese and Korean people eat? I don't know if they actually eat cats, but I can't speak for this. I do know. Like my wife is Filipino, so over in the Philippines, like over in the jungle out in the
If
country,
it'll hold still long enough, right?
they'll eat they'll eat dogs over there. That's like
yeah, I mean, you're gonna listen. You want to eat whatever you got.
and
You know how
and
many
I'm
times
sure
I've looked
if-
at my dog and thought I would cry. I would be in a terrible place if I ever had to. But this life,
But hey, if it's going down, it's going down.
if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And you can, you can separate yours. Like cows are really cute. Cows. If you ever look at some of these cows, they're like, but also beef is delicious.
Have you seen? I tell you what, Matt. Have you seen the video? Okay, first of all, I love beef and I love all kinds of meats, but there's a video that you could see a freaking cow playing with children, playing soccer with children, and it's the most sweetest thing you've ever saw. And I would still eat that son of a bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Well, Matt, you and I wrote a joke once. I think the punchline that we worked with was, "You don't eat a duck like that all at one time," or something.
It came from an old joke where the farm, like you don't need a pig like that all at once.
So now I'm beginning to wonder, because Mike is literally 6 delicious homemade cat food. Mike, so are you investigated by did the FBI, call you regularly?
They haven't reached out for a while. I have a buddy that works for the federal government. Whenever he applied for a new position, there used to be an FBI agent that would call the house, and she was in background checks, and she's like, "Hey, our friend," like it got to the point where we were on a first name basis, and she'd say, "Hey, how you doing, Mike? Our friend's applying for another job, so I'm going to start the recorder, so we have to be professional, but we're about to go. All right." So that was interesting, but no, the FBI hasn't called here for a while, and in fact, we're live, right, Matt?
Yes, sir.
Bomb airport. Okay.
Oh,
I just have to make sure that my NSA people are there.
Jesus.
Now, let me ask a real quick, because you guys being now all you guys are in Delaware, correct?
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So isn't the seafood is like the lobster in that area? Isn't that like supposed to be like the place?
We are blue crab country.
Blue crab. Okay. All right, my
Lobster's
wife
a little
will
farther
love
north, but we do blue crab here.
that. Okay.
Yeah, it's the seafood. The nice thing about being in Delaware is you're close enough to the other places where you can get good shit.
Yeah.
Like we're close enough to Massachusetts that we can, or the north where the lobsters come from, that we can have it brought down. Being a port helps.
Like 4 or 5 hours. Like you could drive there and get it and come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But are we still looking at? I know. I was.
Oh, and that's where and the president's from y'all state too, correct?
Yeah. About a.
Yeah.
I mean, his house is about a mile and a half from where I'm sitting right now.
Staff writer Bill keeps telling us that we should start a tour group. We should get a bus and start tours to Biden Falls.
Biden Falls.
Yeah, where he
I'm
fell.
every time I see him give a speech. But let's
remember when he fell off his bike at a dead stop?
Yeah.
He calls that area Biden Falls. He wants to go visit it and like pay homage to it.
That's hilarious.
So what he wants to do is get a tour bus together. We'll take everybody down to the intersection where Biden fell. Call it Biden Falls.
That's one thing kind of comical that, if we could take anything out of these past two presidents, at least there's some real funny shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least
some
there's
real funny shit.
some real funny shit.
It's just the problem is that we all have to kind of suffer the consequences, man.
Dude, this is what I'm saying, because you dropped the Gen. I'm going back to Gen X, and I'm pretty sure all you guys would agree. For God's sakes, we need somebody from our generation to be president.
Soon,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ, it's got to happen. I mean, it's pathetic.
I at this point, I feel like it's all run by this big cabal. Like I don't believe in anything. I'm being lied to all the fucking time. It's nothing. The world. It's just the only thing Danny. Only thing is what you've been told.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's all you fucking know is what you've been told.
But it's
and the problem is that it's weird. I compare this. I get this real deep biblical side to me. I'm not really religious, but I get to these things, and it's almost like the internet is the and I was thinking the United States in itself with the internet is the Tower of Babel. And we're all becoming so close to God that it's all about to fall apart, right? Because there's so much, we have access to all of the information, but there's also people out there that can create false information and put that out as if it's truth.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I tell people my dick is huge.
Well, the crazy stuff is that there's so much information out there. There's so much information out there, and it's constantly coming at us. You don't know what's real and what's not, what to believe, what to not believe. And it's damn. I mean, when you do start thinking about, what's going to happen in the future, it is. You think, what future? What's going to happen?
And our age group is as we're at a unique point in time, because when we came along, when we were born in a hospital where the doctor smoked.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He might have been smoking while he was delivering. He probably put a smoke down to catch you.
Yeah.
And, we're only a few years, some of us are only a few years after seatbelts were mandatory in cars.
I remember, I believe we can all remember sitting in the car with our dad while they were smoking with the windows rolled up.
Yeah.
My dad didn't smoke my dad didn't smoke while I was alive. So, he smoked quit before I was born. My dad was 45 when he had me. Well, my mom smoked, and my dad drove drunk better than he ever drove sober.
I believe all our dads. That was
just he and he'd have a few and just take you to soccer practice. All right, and just have a beer. Like I don't think I ever saw him have a beer in the car, but my brothers who were I were much older than me, 20 years older than me, they did. They drank. My one brother is now passed on. He drank himself to death. But all the time it didn't matter.
But the dichotomy that we have there is we also had there were newsmen at that time, like Walter Cronkite and those guys. You trusted those guys to go through the news and to only tell you the truth.
Absolutely. They weren't jumping to an agenda or supporting.
Like we all watched the Challenger disaster in school on fucking
Live.
TV live.
Yes, live.
But
in
we
the
didn't have,
classroom, we
but
watched that
after
happen.
but we didn't have some asshole telling us that it was the president's fault that it exploded.
Yeah.
Or we didn't have some asshole pontificating on high as to why he thinks this happened. And it's all people's opinion. And if everybody can give their opinion, I'm going to give mine. And mine is fuck everybody. This is all, none of this really fucking matters. I'll be dead in the next 10 years. Guaranteed.
Well, I mean, and also, something else, the next day, we didn't hear conspiracies about how it was fake.
No.
Or this,
Right.
there was,
Like,
guys, I do this all the time. And I'm trying not to become this old, crusty, dusty bastard. I'm trying not to turn into Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino, but I'm 5 minutes away from that because I miss the days whenever, dude, guys, we had it great. All I'm saying is we had it great growing up. Dude, we had it better than what these kids have.
Dude, if you, you could commit a hate crime without getting caught on fucking video and prosecuted.
But I mean, you could get in an argument. I mean, but there's that. But hell, now if you get pissed because they screw up your fries, shit, you're going to get fired from your job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's got their camera on you constantly. It's a freaking Black Mirror episode.
I mean, it truly is. And it's funny that we're sitting here, you're a podcaster as well. We're we're almost like screaming for attention in a world where everyone is screaming for attention. And so that's where it all kind of, gets lost.
It's and I catch myself doing that a lot. And I agree with you because, you talk about the real pandemic is likes, views, and, look at me's. That's the real pandemic. And I always feel weird being an entertainer saying that because, of course, that's what I get paid to do.
It's your commodity.
But I will say this on the behalf of entertainers, I've also busted my ass to be able to stand up in an hour in front of an audience and entertain them instead of, doing something dumb or farting on my wife for 15 minutes on a, camera phone. I just said camera phone. That's how.
That's a good idea. I'm going to do 15 minutes of me farting my wife.
Hey, dude, it'll get millions of views. Millions of views.
I know, dude.
Love that shit on TikTok.
All right, we got one more story to blow through.
Yeah, but you mentioned some cops and stuff. Tennessee cop, and look at me. Tennessee cop Megan Hall breaks her silence after being fired over her sex scandal. She says she did say no. A Tennessee police officer fired over her sex sprees with a slew of fellow cops says she felt terrorized.
Hey, Danny, did you hear about this?
Calling out her bosses for the binge.
Danny, did you hear about this?
Yes. It's
because you're like, how far away?
I think Laverne is closer to Nashville, is what I want to say, but more Middle Tennessee. But it is blown up everywhere. It's spread wider than her legs. She was. First of all, get the fuck out of here. She wasn't groomed or none of that bullshit. First of all, dudes hit on women all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I've heard no enough times that I'm pretty sure that
if she was groomed, I mean, if she says, okay, if she can give intent, then she wasn't groomed. She wasn't, you know what I mean? And she completely, and I think her husband was in on it too, right? I mean,
her husband wanted nothing to do with it.
He was a park ranger.
He's a park ranger. Well, but I mean, wasn't she banging these dudes like in front of him or something?
I think there was one.
No, they had an open marriage, but he wasn't completely on board with it.
That's not an open marriage. I have an open marriage too. I just haven't told my wife yet.
Yeah, they're all open.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who you
open to interpretation.
I mean, she's trying. I get what she's trying to do. She's trying to protect her. That's her only really defense.
That's all she can do.
That's all she.
She could just come out and be like, "Yeah, I'm a whore. Who wants some?"
Dude, this is what I think she should do. Okay.
All right.
Start an OnlyFans, and she would be a millionaire.
That's what we said. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
OnlyFans. Dude, everybody wants to see that. Everybody, dude. Everybody wants to know what those cops were, and do it in uniform. Oh
God, yeah.
Striptease in uniform, dude.
Lots of money. I'm telling you, dude, there's freaks out there that would, in a heartbeat, you know. And to
Yeah.
me, I don't even think that's that freaky compared to what is out there, you know.
Dude,
No,
this is it. What we do. Oh, this is good. We get her, right?
right,
And then we get like big black dudes,
right.
right? To do like hard sex scenes. Not, consensual,
Right.
fully consensual. But like
I can't believe Pornhub hasn't reached out to her. I would have a hard time thinking maybe.
I'm sure they have. They
I'm
must
sure
have.
they have.
They must have.
I think probably Pornhub has so much content. I mean, you can scour Pornhub for hours.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I mean,
There's
just-
one thing
just-
left.
I
When we're gone, whenever humanity is gone, they're going to have so much porn. So much porn.
I
whoever,
think dude,
whoever inherits the earth will have
No,
so
they're-
much porn.
No, they're not. They're not going to have anything. They're not going to have any. If you think about it, with the way civilization is going, everything is going to be magically in the air. It's all going to be digitized. It's in the cloud. Well, when humanity fails, the cloud fails, and then there is nothing. None of it. When we go,
Only the physical.
nobody's going to know how to turn the
Well, okay. Besides the cloud, then let's go back. Let's bring it back to 1987 when there was that giant stack of nudie mags in the woods that we would all share in the
Thank
neighborhood.
you. There's another one.
And you'd
That's
find
fine.
one
I
in
used
the
to find
pages
porno.
sticking together. Just,
Porn's in. You find your porn in the woods.
Dude,
Or
I have said that on this show at least 15 times that we used to go into the woods and
Yeah.
find porno.
or
Yeah.
every spring on the trash when spring cleaning
And-
happens.
And there was all right, so I lived in the Pocono Mountains, Pennsylvania, and it was woods, and like I lived in this enclosed development, so there was a front gate and there was a back gate, but the store was on the main road. Well, we had figured out that it was like a 10-mile walk from my buddy's house to the store, but we figured out that it was only a trek through the woods. You know what I mean? You had to cross a stream and then a willow field. Willow fields will suck your feet in. So that made it a little tougher. But we would get to the store, right? And it was this little mom and pop shop. But then in the back of the store, there was the pornos.
Behind a beaded curtain.
No, there was no curtain. There was the pornos right next to video games.
Oh, okay.
But it
Oh,
was like-
wow.
it was
I
like-
love how they were marketing right
Yeah.
next to the video games.
But there was three of us. So one of us would go in and play. One of us would order a sandwich and the other one would just boost porno mags. Just shove them into his jacket. So then we'd eat the sandwiches and we'd fucking, drink the soda, finish playing the game, we'd walk out and just fucking stacks of porno.
God, wasn't the 80s great?
They were, but we used to wander around the woods, and both in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, just wander around the woods and find other people's forts.
Oh, yeah.
Find a whole fort. And you'd go in and, you'd fucking hang out in that fort, find their porno, find their liquor, find their beer, drink it. They'd walk in, get all fucking pissed off, but you had some beer too. So you made friends with them. And then you had these friends that you just found in the woods. You found shit in the woods all the time.
You
And
did.
it was just an amazing, and I hear a lot of people, just real quick, I hear a lot of people complaining, about kids today and being faces and screens and not having. I see a lot. I have a warm moment inside whenever I see like a roving bike gang of scraggly looking kids. I'm like, okay, childhood's still kind of alive.
You
Or
know
you
that they
start-
were
you see a-
knee deep in the creek somewhere.
Yeah. Or you see a bunch of kids bullying another dude. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everything's going to be okay, because this is the way it flip flops. And honestly, the new generation that's so soft is our fault for trying.
Oh, yeah. It's
trying to
Gen
course-
X's fault because it's our kids.
Right. And it's trying to course correct. Like we know how our parents treated us. And I know my parents used to say, we don't, just not to get too personal, but we don't abuse you. You haven't seen abuse.
Yeah.
We were abused. Like we kneeled on peas.
Yeah.
My father tells story of having his tooth pulled out at the dinner table. things of these really abusive things. And they did a course correct. And then, they tried, my parents weren't abusive because my dad never hit me. Right. So he was never abusive. All the words and all the
Sticks and stones, they'll break your bones.
Right. The stuff the words that aren't supposed to bother, the words aren't supposed to bother you. Sticks and stones may break my bones. These words aren't supposed to hurt, but now words hurt. And I think that puts Gen X in a very sticky predicament because we kind of taught them that to try to course correct. And
it's
now
overcorrection.
And we've overcorrected. And what I think is going to happen is this, the next generation behind them is going to be raised by selfish assholes, right? That don't know about course correction. They think they're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that generation coming behind is going to be the next punk rock generation. They're going to be the next complete changing of the guard. That's the way
I hope so. And
that's the way I kind of see it.
I can't wait to sit back and watch that shit go down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or we're going to be owned by China.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Good possibility. But no, I really, because I look at these little assholes and I'm like, God, you think you're so damn smart and yet you don't know shit from butter. And now it's getting ready to, and when I get old, I just want to sit back and just eat my soft crackers and laugh and piss my pants, because the generation that comes after them is really going to kick their ass.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Oh, I think you're right, dude. I do. Man, it's so they are damn. Some ways they're very soft, but in other ways, like I said,
very callous.
They have it worse than what we did. They have it tougher than what we did.
Yeah.
Like I said, we could do bad shit, man. Yeah. And it's not all the dumb things we've done, guys, has not been documented our entire lives.
That's right.
Everything they have done has been documented so far. Thank God some of the shit I did wasn't documented.
No, I used to have to tell people how much of an asshole I actually was.
Yeah,
I would have to tell stories, and then this is what would happen because we did this thing. You're a stand-up, and I'm going to kind of wind down the segment with this, but we had a challenge going, and to write a stand-up piece, and we were going to go hit an open mic. And I wrote this stand-up piece, and the way we do things, like we're like a team, right? So I took my stand-up routine and I shot it over to Mike. And I said, tell me what you think of it. And he said, I really think you need to see a psychiatrist. You need help. Because, it was all about how I don't trust women and, my first interactions with my interactions with my mother and my first kid's mother and, all these things. And he's like, I think you need therapy. And that's not, it's only funny to you. And you hear like Bill Burr tells like how he goes to therapy and he starts laughing, and the therapist is horrified, and he's like, "What? You don't think this is funny at all?"
That's exactly
because like we had to laugh it off.
Yeah,
this is funny.
Yeah,
we were told this was funny because this is what was happening to us, and this is funny. So we did this, and this was funny. This is how this is how you act. This is funny. And, and you tend to learn that, that's really just harmful and toxic, behavior.
To give you
just described every comedian who's ever lived, by the way, there, Maddie. So
no, I understand that. I did an open mic night and I did one joke, and I've recently cut my hair, but I used to make the joke that I looked like Jason Momoa on meth. And that was it. That was the whole.
I can see a little bit there, handsome. I'm not jumping down the meth thing though. This is, because I'm observant as hell. So I'm sitting here looking at all three of you, and I kept looking at Maddie. I'm thinking he's got a Jason Momoa and a Wolfman Jack, baby. Wolfman Jack thing happening.
All the gray in the right places.
So there, exactly, dude. Look at that gray, baby. Holy cow!
It's I've dyed it once, and I wasn't quite happy with it. I've just started dyeing my hair.
So that's just natural. It's
this just happened the way it happened.
Jesus Christ! Look at the jeans.
Yeah.
This guy, it's just
I'm a
came in
handsome
and-
motherfucker. And I recently got a haircut and because I was looking pretty scraggly. And what I do, I've explained this to people, is I keep myself, if I were to look my absolute best all the time, pussy would fly at me at such a rate that I wouldn't be able to like control it all. There's going to be a pussy come on my dick. And
UAPs, baby.
I can't cheat.
Unidentified pussy.
I understand. Yeah, right. Exactly. You know exactly because I'm sure you deal with this all the time. Like you driving down the road and then pussy right on the fucking
all the time.
Right. It's like thank
Like
God
bird
the window was
shit
there.
on the windshield.
I was like, I can see your kidneys, lady. Please put that away.
We call it chuckle sluts in my business. But
Dude, are there chuckle sluts? I mean, are you a married guy or
I am married, and
you're
I
married, so you can't tell stories of banging chicks on the road.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't. I've got an awesome wife, so I'd be a freaking dope to ever cheat on her because she's amazing. But there are chuckle sluts at every show, dude. Every show, and I always do bits about my wife. That way, that will shine off.
Like, hey, I'm married, bitch. You do a lot of things like, hey.
But every now and then you'll get hit up by a female cop and 3 big black dudes. Gotta take us home. It happens, but no, it doesn't happen. I've done swinger. I've done parties, private events where I was at a swinger parties. Didn't know it. I'll tell you a real quick story. If you guys got time,
hang on. Just let me do this. Just hang on for 1 second. Hang on. Holster that story real quick. Coming up after this, we're going to hear more from Danny Whitson. He's going to tell us all about chuckle sluts. You can find out more about Danny Whitson at DannyWhitsonMagic.com. You can see everything Media Virus at themediavirus.com. You can even send me an email, Maddie at themediavirus. You can give us a call at 646-VIRUS-01. That's 646-VIRUS-01. Give us a call, chime in, stick around. We're gonna be talking to Danny. Did I miss anything, Mike?
No. I'm going to take a moment and I programmed some new bumpers into the board here. So
that's exciting.
We're going to use one of those on the way out. This has been the A Block on the Media Virus Podcast. We'll be back right after this.
I still have the YouTube up on my computer.
And that's the A Block.
All right. You want to keep live streaming or?
It's up to you.
Let's keep it going.
Doesn't bother me. I'm just going to reload the recording so that I can.
So Danny, what we do, we use our time to record basically 3 different shows.
Okay.
Because we go for like an hour and a half and sometimes longer. Okay. So we've broken that up into more digestible blocks.
Gotcha.
So the release dates are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that first part gets released on Spotify and anywhere you find podcasts on Friday, and then this next part will be on Saturday, and then Sunday is the last part. You don't have to stick around for the last part if you don't want to, but we do invite you to hang out. It's just we watch videos that we've made and TikToks and make fun of them. So
gosh, that sounds fun. What time? Seriously, I love making fun of anything. But I am kind of on a time crunch.
Time do you need to be out of here?
Probably the latest would be what is it, 9:15 now?
Yep.
9:45ish. Is it 30 more minutes? Is that cutting a slim?
That's fine with
Okay.
You can go at 9:40. Yeah. That'll at least get us our
Does it get us through the second show? The second
half? Yeah, absolutely.
Second,
okay.
Which is the important part. That's the meat and potatoes.
And honestly, it's we try to keep them at 30 minutes.
Okay.
When it's good, when it's good, it's good, and we ran long.
Dude, I love this, by the way, man. You guys are fantastic. This is really cool, man. I'm digging it. I've done a lot of podcasts, and I'm digging this. This is really cool.
I really appreciate that, man.
We work hard on making it that.
And Mike, dude, you are familiar. Why does he seem so damn familiar?
It's that sweet voice. Yeah, you
know what? I know what it is.
Every time you watch Law and Order, you hear a voice that sounds just like his.
No, Mike looks like an actor.
Okay.
Mike, you kind of favor Lieutenant Dan.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Gary,
You see
Gary
it?
Sinise. I can see it.
I can see it a little bit.
He's got an old picture on his Facebook. Before I ever met the dude, I answered a Craigslist ad to start it was a different
Oh shit!
podcast.
Here we go.
It was for a different podcast, but I answered a Craigslist ad and I kind of got some information on people and I looked them up and I was looking at his Facebook and it struck me, and I've never said this to him, and I'm not trying to bust balls or anything like that. I swear to Christ, I thought not Brad Williams, but the other guy, the guy who played the guy who was in Elf, the dwarf, the little person that was in Elf.
Peter Dinklage.
Dinklage?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you looked a lot like Peter Dinklage. And it was just the way your hair was and your facial hair. It's an old picture. But
Maddie's into little people. All
dude,
right.
we love little people here on the Media Virus.
Hey, I love little people. I love them.
We discovered there's I guess that might be near you. There's a little person wrestling association.
Well, dude, yeah, they have it's called micro wrestling around
Yes.
here.
Is that near you?
Super badass. Yeah, very close.
Like,
I've
how we
never
doing?
been. Actually, we were all going
Go
to
and
go a couple weekends ago, but we didn't. But we're still planning on to go.
Dude, so we called. There's like call a wrestler line. So we tried to call to schedule like an interview. You got to pay $2 a minute to talk to one of those
Damn,
micro
dude, that's
wrestlers.
like old school, like Mother Cleo
Yeah.
shit.
What'd you say, Mike?
I said, I'm recording. Let's go in soft.
Off. Cool. All right. Sorry. Ruined a soft intro. You have the.
I'm reaching for that now. I didn't expect everybody to get quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's the one thing I didn't have pulled out and ready to go.
The one thing.
The intro.
The intro.
Well, it's the B block.
Everything else.
So I
he's
thought
got
I was going to
pulled
have
out
a
ready to
moment,
go.
and
I'm sorry, man.
back here and
Don't forget to share your screen.
is it today? Where did it go? Well, we may have to do it.
Well, while Mike's looking for that, we're talking to Danny Whitson. He's a stand-up comic magician, and he's going to tell us about Chuckle Sluts.
Chuckle Sluts, yeah.
But you had a story we asked you to holster from the last segment.
No, this is a story that this is probably I think this was my first encounter because for some reason, man, when you stand on stage, people you get out afterwards, and I don't care what it is, a musician. I mean, you could be anything. You could be a mime, and it'd be like, hey, let's bang him after the show. He's so hot. But no, I was doing a show, and there was this big redneck dude in the front row, and he was plastered, and but it was he was kind of heckling. But it was one of those things to where he was just too dumb to realize I was making fun of him. So I kind of kept him at bay. I didn't want to shut him down, but I just kind of kept him there, and had some fun with him. But anyways, I brought his girlfriend up during the show and we did his stupid little routine, fun little routine. But anyways, afterwards, he comes up to me and I'm thinking, oh shit, after the show. He goes, hey, my girl really liked you. And I was like, okay, cool, man. Yeah, she was great. She was great. And he's like, so you want to come home with us tonight? And I was like, oh. I was like, oh, man, sorry, dude. No, I can't. My wife wouldn't like that. But she's right over
Bring her too.
Well, I said, she's over here selling shirts. So he's like, where? And he walks over there. So anyways, he goes over and he buys 12 T-shirts.
Oh, wow. You ain't gonna fuck my wife, I'll buy some T-shirts.
Absolutely. So somebody wound up getting screwed, and it, wasn't us. But he did. He bought 12 T-shirts. Wow. But yeah, man, it happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it's my ex-wife used to say that I was a lot I was a lot hotter when I was holding my bass guitar and singing into a microphone. The Media Virus was the name of my first band. And,
Okay, cool.
So that's kind of where the whole thing kind of came from. And yeah, there is a thing about being on stage that kind of, what you're doing is you're asking everybody for their attention.
Yeah.
And you're going to get people's attention. And, as people consume alcohol, or maybe they've done something out in the parking lot, they were out there sniffing glue, and, they're looking for a good time. You become approachable because, you've been talking to them for, not them personally, but they kind of feel that way. Like you've been talking to them for 40 minutes or whatever. And I would never imagine asking somebody to come home with but
Well, I mean, you get
different strokes for different folks.
the thing that they should probably teach people getting into entertainment, I think, is if you do meet somebody who can put up with your bullshit, keep them.
Yeah, hold on tight.
Yeah, it's so rare. And because that girl at the show, I mean, it's not worth, risking your entire marriage over somebody who really doesn't like. She's not going to take care of you if you break your neck.
No.
You know what I mean? She's not going to wipe your ass.
Once
No.
the laughs stop, it's over, man.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So,
you gotta keep her laughing.
and I mean, my lady, guys, she comes to me to almost all of my shows. I mean, she's with me on the road. So, and I mean, when you get somebody like that,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing.
My wife won't even listen to our podcast. I mean, shit.
That's now granted, mine doesn't listen to mine either. So
So well, what got you started in magic and comedy? Like what? Oh, wait a minute, hang on, because Mike works hard on these little intros. This was the intro.
In the podcast production system, there are two separate but equally important groups: the guests who think they have something to say, and the hosts who completely exploit them. These are their stories. All right.
I got that. He sounded just like the dude. That was amazing. I love that.
Thank you. You need a voiceover for your next comedy album? Let me know. You can reach me 302-46-VOICE. That's 302-46-VOICE.
Where did Maddie's voice go?
He turned himself off again.
Ah.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I turned myself down because I make a lot of noise while shit's going on, and
look like an old kung fu film.
I'll kill you. That's racist.
Racist. I'm married to an Asian, boys. I can see there. I don't know.
Oh, that's good stuff, boy.
There we go. I got into magic. It all started with me and Father McMahon. He made his finger disappear. No, in the basement.
I'm going to need an explanation.
It was in a laundromat. No, actually, I was kind of a late bloomer with magic because most magicians always get like a freaking magic kit, and they've got
this one.
A real stable.
Yeah, the story usually is a kid with no friends spends a lot of time in his room.
Absolutely.
And but that's not your story?
No. Well, I did do that, but I wasn't practicing that move. But no, what happened to me is probably when I was probably closer to that. I always had an interest in magic because my dad was a prankster, but he wasn't a magician or anything. He would just play pranks on us. And it was always like the probably overboard kind of shit. Because my dad was like MacGyver. He'd be like, hold this wire and this wire, boy. And you'd get the shit shocked out of you. He'd get a kick out of stuff like that. But No, probably when I was about 18 or 19 years old, I strolled into a magic shop in Knoxville, a place called Eddie's Tricks and Costumes. And there was a magician behind the counter, Tricky Nicky, and he fooled the shit out of me. And I was like, God, I got to learn how to do this. So he, sold me some books. And then, Danny went off on his way to teach himself magic. Shortly after that, you do your little birthdays and work restaurants and shit like that. And then eventually I wanted to perform, and I started street performing, busking.
So close-up magic.
Yeah. A lot of clouse-up stuff. And
Chris Angel?
Well, he came along a little later. I was influenced by I was influenced. You can't knock David Blaine. David Blaine is an amazing dude. If you ever meet him, one of the nicest human beings on this planet. But of course, but street performing is where you learn some things working the streets. You first of all, you learn how to build an audience, you learn how to be engaging, and you learn how to get total strangers to stop and give a shit about what you're doing.
Yep.
And then pay you afterwards. So
what do you just walk up to people and go, yo, fuck go, want to see a card trick?
Yeah. Well, actually,
your card.
This
Fuck
was
you.
like real. You want to build a crowd. So, you stop one person and then you shout, you loud, you're a spectacle, you get people to stop, pay attention, and then want to watch a show.
Did you ever like take a plant?
Not in the street world, now every now and then, like in my show now, I've just recently started doing that too. There's a dumbass routine, which I love doing, but it requires a plant. I don't get to do it on the road, but if I'm ever doing a local show, and what it is, Maddie, it's a routine that it requires a plant, and then immediately after it happens, they know it's a plant. So it's making fun of using a plant is what it is. Basically, I could tell the routine if you want to hear.
No, it's I don't want to ruin your. You don't
want to run your stick, magic boy. Dig too deep. But anyways, I started out street performing, and then from there. I wanted to get indoors because I'm a pasty bastard. Okay. And in Tennessee, summers are brutal. So I went to Side Splitters Comedy Club in Knoxville, Tennessee, and went in there and did some open mics. First showed up as the magic guy with all his tricks and shit. And then I had to learn that in order to learn stand-up comedy, you can't show up with a guitar. You can't show up with a magic trick.
You can't have the thing to hide behind. You
cannot.
Crutch.
You have to put all your shit down and bare your soul, baby.
Yeah.
So that's what I did for. So anyways, after a while, I got good enough to be one of the house MCs and work that local club. And then there was the period to where I was like, well, I've been working so hard on magic. I've been working so hard on stand-up. I don't want to abandon this for that. So let's try to make the two work together. And, people sometimes they think that magic and comedy go together hand in hand, and they don't, because good stand-up is telling the truth. And magic is bullshit.
Magic is the lie.
So making the two work but now over the years, that's my show is it's a little jack of all trades of everything. You got, magic, you got stand up, you got sight gags. I'm prop scum, baby. Dude,
I watched that thing where you grabbed that woman's card with the shit scooper.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking good. It's just a good bit. Like, I don't know, like, you don't have to give the ins and outs of it. However, that worked. It was a great fucking bit. And, bringing that in and all, like, you never see a dude doing magic just in a jeans and a t-shirt. He's always wearing like a jacket.
Yeah.
I guess that's where all the shit, I guess, hides, right? So, like, how do you balance, your wardrobe
with me, dude? I'm more of the, compared to the other douches.
Fuck those guys.
A lot of them, I feel like they overdress. I feel like most magicians overdress, and they all look the same.
Tuxedo and the tail.
Yeah. They all look the same.
You gotta have enough clothes on for those dove harnesses and all that.
Well, and And a lot of times, now wearing some a loud jacket has become kind of like, a thing that I do, but underneath I got a t-shirt, jeans, and that's it.
And I was
And
paying attention to that, and I was like, he looks good. I mean, it all
but
works.
sometimes in Magic, this is me. This is how I feel, because most of my friends are comics. The majority of my friends are comics. Now there's a handful of magicians, but the majority are comics. And I can't see myself dressing like them. You know what I mean? Acting like them,
Yeah.
being like them. It just, to me, Magic is more of a platform that I use for my comedy, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I'm not out to just fool you and be superior over you. The smart. No. I'm a moron, just like you. So that's.
Well, it's like anything. As we hone our craft and we get to what we do, you merge all of your skills together and make it work.
It's probably one of my favorite things is if I think of a good gag, I'm like, oh God, that's effing gold. Just recently, I did a show Friday night, and there's an old I'll bring this guy up on stage, and I'm like, hey man, y'all remember this dumb shit? And I reach over, I'm like, got your nose, and then people kind of laugh. Well, then I take my fist and I turn it upside down, and all this damn white powder starts pouring out. So I mean, and I thought of that like 3 days before, and I'm like, I got to do that. I have to try that. So, and I mean, the creativity level, it's a
So
platform.
you'll just so from thought generation of that's a funny gag to pulling the gag off on stage was 3 days.
Yeah,
that's good turnaround.
I mean, it's a quick gag. It's simple. It's beautiful. But the fact that you went and executed it just like you didn't, test it. Like there was you just went, fuck this. We're going to, this gag. And it, and it works. It's pretty ballsy, really.
Well, one of the cool things is that I can do is, like I remember back in the day, back in the open mic days, we all had 6 minutes to hop on stage, and you're sweating bullets. You're like, holy shit, can I do 6 minutes? You're terrified. But now I've got so much time that I can take a new bit, sandwich it in between the old shit.
Right.
That way, just in case, if it doesn't hit, if
going right to the next thing,
bounce right back to something that does.
Is that common though for you to come up with an idea and then just use it, like, just throw it into the repertoire?
Most of the time, a lot of time, I will, sometimes I sit on that shit for 3 years. And so that one was just, to me, that one I felt like was perfect. I was like, okay, that's gonna go. Now the only thing that's going to change is do I make a joke? Mandatory drug test on Monday if I'm doing a corporate gig, or like I think I said the guy's name was Max. I said something, but I mean, and sometimes and you'll pay attention to the audience too, because sometimes the audience will give you great material too.
Mm-hmm.
That bit would get expensive though, because that's a big waste of cocaine. Like, do you have like a bag of? You have a bag underneath, like to catch it, or
you know what, dude? I swear to God, I do. I didn't. Here's the thing. See, that's the other cool thing about it, though, is I didn't pull it out and scoop it in the bag. I didn't do that, but I did have that bag in there, and I had that idea. But now basically I was keeping the bag in there just to store the trick, that way it's there. It's because there's also times that I want to do brand new bits, brand new jokes,
right? And
I'm like, shit, I forgot to do that bit this night, so I have to set myself little reminders that, hey, we need to work, because, I don't get out to a lot of open mics anymore. I'm not knocking it, because it's practice for comics, but so most of the time, through my work, like I said, I sandwich it in between the old stuff. Last time I did an open mic, I'll tell you a real quick story. I remember there was like 4 or 5 bits that I wrote, and I wasn't going to do any magic. I was just going to go there and hit an open mic to voice out the jokes, because you have to voice them out, in front of an audience. And I remember like, hey, so-and-so, can I get a spot here on this mic? And I'm like, yeah, great, So I get there and I'm sitting there waiting, and this is in Knoxville. And the host hops up on stage and goes, all right, and headlining our show tonight, we got a real treat. We got Danny Whitson here tonight. And I'm like, son of a bitch, no.
Hi.
This is going to suck. What are you doing? No. You know.
You want a spot, motherfucker? I'll give you a spot.
Yeah. So that
That's
was
like,
fun.
oh, it's almost like it's like a spite fuck.
No.
That's awesome. That's a great story. I really appreciate the way so you have anything coming up that you got any, going on the road anytime soon?
I'm going to be at the City Winery in Nashville, Tennessee, April 8th. And then I don't know what I want to say April. Oh shit. April 19th. I'm going to be in Hiwassee, Georgia. You ever been to Hiwassee, Georgia? Neither have I.
Never even heard of Hiwassee, Georgia.
Yeah, I know. But it's a real resorty, cool looking place. So that's not March is pretty quiet for me this month, and which is because we originally were supposed to be in San Diego this month, but I kept the whole month wide open. That's where my son lives. We were supposed to be out there visiting him, and so we had to reschedule to this summer. So now I'm kind of got time to do podcasts.
There you go.
We're glad to have you.
And you're here with us. So, sorry, my brain completely shut down.
Well, as
That's
a comedy,
okay. It was either that or I think he was about to take a shit. I was trying to figure which one Maddie's going on here, brother.
I'm going to.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Pete.
What's the most elaborate trick you've ever done?
Elaborate. Now, when you say elaborate, you mean like something like in a box on a lady in half, or just something?
Yeah. And like I said, what's the most elaborate trick you've done successfully? Like I'm sure like.
Okay, I'll tell you. I don't do this anymore, but probably on that, if you want to say like elaborate, almost like an illusion, I'll never forget the first time learning how to make someone disappear. Really make someone disappear. And my best friend and his family had come over for the weekend, was staying with us. And I literally took their kid out in the backyard, had everybody gather and made her vanish and then reappear before the Amber Alert. So, but no, honestly, that was probably one of the coolest things. And I've always wanted to, play around with that, a little more, but yeah, that's definitely probably the most elaborate. I didn't make the Statue of Liberty disappear, Pete, if that's what you're asking, but definitely making children disappear.
Delaware State Police thinks that Pete has made 17 hookers disappear.
17 hookers. There you go, Pete. I'll pretend like I didn't hear that. I know.
Oh, you know what?
As soon as you said making somebody disappear, I was gonna say, well, that's easy. That's like a couple of baseball bats and an empty trunk.
So there was
by trunk, I mean trunk of a car.
So Mike had posed a question to me that he wanted to. Did you want to ask it? You want me to?
Yeah, because as a comedy magician, I figure you have a unique skill set. I was wondering if you could actually make Pete funny.
I believe everybody's got a little funny in them somewhere, Pete. Right? Somewhere.
Yeah, Pete's funny is usually on Thursdays.
What's Thursday?
The day after the show.
The day after.
We get them all warmed up.
I am inconsistently funny.
Hey, everybody's got something, especially these days. But you got people. What's the worst though is the people who have no self-awareness whatsoever. Those are the worst.
I would be so happy if I could just not have any self-awareness. If I could turn off my self-awareness and just like these people just wander through life, not giving a fuck what my behavior does to anybody else. Because I work with a dude. I call him Staff Writer Bill. He's like that. Where he does not give a fuck what he wants to come in, dump a whole bunch of problems on you that are all his problem that he doesn't want to deal with, and he'll just walk away. And it's those types of people that don't understand how annoying they are that are truly the happiest people. It's us assholes that are like
Tortured.
yeah, aware of how we are perceived that have to deal with the thousand thoughts a minute.
Well, I mean, that's if you give a shit, though.
That's true.
Part of me, like I'm self-aware, I know, and I see so many people on a daily basis that have no clue how annoying they are, or how big of a douchebag they are, or and I'm just like, God, I'm glad I'm not that clueless. But it's all, I mean, you could be self-aware at the same time and not give a shit what the damn world thinks.
Mhm.
So, but
My motto, was I get to do this really cool thing. It's called whatever the F I want.
that's a really cool thing.
Well,
Yeah, I get to do this really cool thing. And I kind of backed off it a little bit because like people were like, well, Pete, you can't exactly do whatever the fuck you want. I was like, yeah, I guess.
See, now that's a good question, man. You guys can help me with a new bit.
Okay.
All right. If you could do, let me start. Okay, can I ask all three of you this question? So this is for all three of you, one at a time. If you could do real magic, what would you do? Starting with Maddie, what would you do, brother?
If I could do real magic, I think I would probably make $100 million appear into my bank account.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough. So okay, no, that's a total fair answer. Pete, what about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of almost on the same
No, you got to choose something different, asshole.
page as
You
Maddie.
can't just copy off me.
So
If I could do real magic, come back to me. Go.
Okay, we'll come back to Pete.
You go, Mike.
Let's go, Mike.
I think the real prestidigitation, what we do is sleight of hand, but actually making things disappear and reappear. But on an
astral plane.
I make your watch disappear over here, but it comes back across the room rather than within my arm's reach.
Okay.
And it's actually your watch. It's not
Yeah.
The
So
plant
you would actually you would do the actual trick. You would actually.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. That's the high road. That's the most high road answer I've ever heard. But all right, Pete, what about you, brother? Come on.
Yeah, see, they took the good ones, man. Took all the good stuff. No, I mean, like I said, I was in the same vein as Matt, but I would make the winning lottery numbers appear, or something of that nature. I would definitely. I don't know if you call that magic.
I would definitely use it for my own gain.
Who the hell exactly?
Rather than to entertain others.
That's why exactly. So it's one of the craziest things is like if I could do real. Who the hell would want to buy a ticket to see me make hoagies and hookers appear for an hour? I mean, but that's or
what kind of
become rich with money, or the only one worth watching would be Lieutenant Dan and him really doing the actual tricks over here, baby. That's I was about to say that's the most high road answer I've ever heard.
He'd be Merlin and shit.
People would really like to come see Mike. We would line up forever and be like, holy shit, this guy's good. This guy's really good. But no,
I didn't even see him take my watch. I was across the fucking room.
Wow.
He finger blasted me. He was still on stage.
How did you do that? Is that you, Father McMahon? But no, really, that was a great answer, man. Mike must be a good dude. You other guys are pieces of shit. But Mike is a good dude.
Yeah, Mike's the moral compass of the show.
Which is scary, but We make it work.
Well, we do.
Awkward silence.
Yeah,
Awkward silence.
I'm sorry, dude.
It's okay.
I've got
You're
so
fine,
much,
dude.
I've got so much shit going on in my head. I'm just
You know
trying-
you do.
yeah.
You're
I'm trying
good,
to sort it
man.
out. I know that you're dealing with a heart out, Danny. You still got a couple more minutes, or
Yeah.
know?
All
right.
Yeah, we'll go a few more.
All right. So, you say one of the markers you have here in your bio, it just says paranormal.
Oh yeah.
What? Are you now? And the reason I bring when I was in high school, before ghost hunters and all this shit, before we knew what paranormal researchers were and things like that, one of the hobbies that we used to have as teenagers that could drive is we'd hear about these haunted legends or, stories, and we would go check them out. Like we go to this place in Pennsylvania called Crybaby Bridge. Now the story is that there was an accident. The woman with her two babies went off the bridge, and if you go to this bridge, it's a creepy covered bridge in the middle of nowhere, and if you honk the horn, flash your lights, all the shit, stop, you can hear the babies cry. Done it 4 times. The first 2 times I actually heard the babies cry. This 3rd time, me and a buddy went out, did it like with a clear head to investigate, went under the bridge, like looked around, got pulled over by the cops, told them what we were doing. They told us to go back to Jersey. So, doing these types of things. And there was a day that I stopped, that I said, I'm not doing that anymore because of a terrifying experience that I had. So what are your interests? Do you have those types of, because we've really gelled on everything else, I figure I'd ask you, do you have those types of experiences? Is that something that's,
first of all, I've been a guest on a ton of paranormal podcasts. Yes, I have. Now granted, this, first of all, being a magician, you don't it ruins a lot of stuff for you. Okay.
Yep.
One of the first things you learn is how the human mind processes information. And unlike a video stream, your mind is like a video, a camera, but not a video camera, but like a photograph. It remembers pictures. Pew, pew, pew. And magic takes place in between the shots. That's why you don't know what's going on. You're getting fooled. Your brain doesn't remember everything. Now, granted, with all that said, I'm not easy to fool, is what I'm saying. Not when it comes to, I think of several ways when I see something. If I watch one of these ghost shows and I'm like, well, that's interesting, but I couldn't see the bottom half of the screen. Who knows if somebody pulled, or I'm thinking of a dozen ways how I could do that. Now, all that being said, I believe in paranormal strongly. I had experience when I was 12 years old, saw a ghost, and it wasn't just me. I had a buddy with me, so I saw something. Let me just say that I actually saw something. So, and and my wife, that's her big thing. She's really into the paranormal. She likes to do investigating, and so we've been on a few investigations before. Do I think that though we've got dead spirits hanging out in our living room? I don't know. I don't know if it's like another dimension or if there's something that happens to the conscious. I don't know, but I do know there is something. There is 100%. There is something going on after we
there was what the situation that stopped me from doing these investigations was there was 3 of us in a car. We went to go see the Atco ghost. We saw what we think we saw, and then we felt a presence chasing us, like not like barreling towards us, if you understand. Like you didn't see nothing. We all felt, this thing. And,
this Saturday at Atco Raceway.
Yeah. And So, and we started driving, and all three of us felt this thing. Like we felt as if something was, all three of us felt as if something was chasing us. And we got home. We literally, there was two dudes and it was me, my friend, and my girlfriend at the time. We all slept in the same bed. Like we were fucking terrified, and we never did it again. But I've had significantly worse luck. Like I feel like that thing attached to me for a while. You understand? Like shit went really south in my life after that. And I was like that, and it scared me so bad I never wanted to do it again. And then the more that I looked at it, like the more like I started to think, I was like, you know what? I don't want to fuck with those things. Like I don't want to open those doors. I don't want to I don't want to have those experiences. I don't need them. I know they exist. I know it's there. It's there. It's fine. But I still every once in a while like to dive into those. I can't remember the name of the movies. Shit, they're based on true stories. Where they exercise like objects.
Blair Witch.
The Annabelle series.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like the Conjuring and
Conjuring. Yeah, I love those. Those are great.
Okay. I used not to believe. I used to be like full blown atheist on a lot of the stuff. Even after having experience as a kid, I was in denial for a long time. That and I tried so many ways to come up with a rational explanation, and I really never could. And I'm not knocking. I'm a big supporter of being rational.
Oh, yeah.
And I always used to kind of laugh when I would hear stories, something attached to you, or you brought something home, but all that shit is real, kids. I'm sorry, but it's real. We don't understand it. Most of your paranormal investigators don't truly have a grasp of it. They just using, the best tools that they have to try to figure out what's going on.
Mhm.
I've talked to some Miranda Young. She is with Ghost Biker Exploration. She's a fantastic paranormal investigator. You guys got to have her on. She has some of the best EVPs I've ever heard in my life, and which I always found really intrigued me when you would hear it, because I asked her one time. I said, let's just be honest. If you can talk to freaking dead people, one of the first things I would ask them, is there a heaven and a hell? Is there a God? This is shit that I want to know. And she said she was communicating, and she said it was almost like there were rules that they couldn't tell you everything. Now, according to whatever your religion, I mean, I'm not a religious person. I am spiritual, and so but I'm not a religious person. But it's just interesting, if there's, they can't tell you, or is this some type of demon on the other side fucking with you? I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But this is the really wild thing is just like kind of take it all the way back to the beginning of the show, Matt, whenever you said that we really don't know shit.
No, we don't know anything.
You
only know what you've been told.
You only know what you've been told. And that goes for everything, man. Everything. All
the research that you've done, like you say, you've read 1 million books. Somebody wrote those books.
Somebody
wrote those books. You were told. Somebody told you in a book, and you read the book. A professor, somebody with an education, somebody told you that.
So, and don't get me wrong, I love science. I love physics. I love astrophysics. I love all that. But have you ever thought about this when it comes to like them trying to figure out the beginning of the universe? It's every time it's just it's the theory, it's the least wrong answer they can come up with. It's still the wrong answer, but it's the least wrong answer.
Yep.
So as far as they can tell.
Exactly, as far as they can tell.
It might be the complete wrong answer.
It might be the complete wrong answer.
No. And that's I'm a huge fan of a band called Bad Religion. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Remember Bad Religion? Yeah.
They're still around, and they have a song called Answer. Don't tell me you have the answer, because another one will come along soon.
Yeah.
It's everybody has, everybody thinks they can fix the world or fix everybody's problems, but really it all starts at home. Like I was, just clean your room, put your shit.
Interestingly enough, the one thing that they can't seem to figure out, and they figure out all kinds of things with the human body and prosthesis and extra parts and making new organs with stem cells. They can't figure out consciousness. They don't understand what makes us us until we're not.
That's
I go into these because I expect my heart to explode at some point. And then you think, like, what's going to happen? Like, am I going to go to hell for and I haven't even like lived a terrible life. It's just been, really more self-serving and stupid. You know what I mean? So there's no net good.
Well,
so if there's a judgment, it's gonna be a long like lecture on how shitty of a person I've been. But like, you can't really put me in hell because I haven't. I was not.
See, I mean, well, if you are a religious person and you believe in a heaven and a hell, that's one thing. Now, to me, I go back to the conscience thing. Okay, this podcast started out first in somebody's head. Mm-hmm. This was an idea. This was an idea in somebody's head, and bam, now it's a real thing. So let me go. And when you talk about like what is going on up here, what we can do, okay? I think there's more to our conscious and our thoughts than just this reality right here. So, and I know people have said this before, like religion is almost like life insurance. I'm not in religion, but I am spiritual. So I like to believe and I want to believe. So therefore there is a God to me, because I want to go see my mom and dad one day. I want to see my grandparents one day. And this is all like, this is like a make-believe, lolly happy-go land, but why not? I can create it in my head so it can be real to me.
You know what? This is how
we're getting deep here on the podcast.
Yeah, no, because here's the thing is I truly believe that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior. I truly believe, I'm a big believer in Jesus Christ. I don't think Jesus would be, I don't think he would be very happy with his fan club.
Oh, hell no.
No, I don't think I don't think what we're dealing with now as far as religion is what, Jesus had in mind.
No, I mean, you take the guy who hung out with lepers and hookers and the absolute, basically scum of the earth and drank a lot of wine. I'm pretty sure that he never stopped and said, "Hey, I draw the line at gay," because that probably wasn't. He was probably hanging around with some guys that were into other dudes. And
yeah. I think Jesus was a comic. But go ahead.
It's very possible. I mean,
a comedy magician, to be precise.
Yeah, absolutely. He turned water into wine.
Loaves and fishes, baby.
But the Media Virus was the name of my first real band. But I wanted to start a band in high school called Jesus Wears Chucks.
That's badass.
And
God, I love that.
Yeah, Jesus Wears Chucks was I hadn't thought about that in fucking years, but it was I was teaching my bass player how to play bass. Like I was trying to put something together, and what had happened was like these other dudes came around. The Media Virus was already like they needed a bass player. I bought a bass for this other person. I just took it. I was like, I went and played bass for that. Because it was just, I was a selfish dumbass, and that's just what happened.
When I first saw Media Virus, I thought, okay, COVID, this is kind of the name, but no, it was the band thing, right? So
yeah,
Virus,
like we're 94, 95, we were Media Virus, and it's just been, it's a name that's been so cool. And I've always wanted to, and yeah, I think
Jesus Wears Chucks is badass.
Jesus Wears Chucks is badass.
That is badass.
Media Virus is badass too.
Now I wonder, Media Virus is badass. I wonder now because of, I wonder how many Gen Zs are going to start a band and call it like, the Wuhan clan. You know what I mean? Something. I mean, it's got to happen. It's going to happen.
I'm writing that down.
The Wuhan clan.
I'm stealing that from you. Because I was checking out one of your was checking out some of your podcasts, and don't what was the guy's name? Not the last one, but the one before that. I forgot who your guest was now.
Magician, a comic.
He was a comic. Anyway, the guy we were talking to last week was a comic as well. And the idea of like people stealing bits was kind of like brought up on your show. And I think you mentioned Richard Belzer. I listen to a lot of podcasts too.
Okay.
So
In a bar show.
but Joe, it's kind of like you mentioned our format. We had a basic idea of what we wanted to do, but I had it, and we were doing it. But if you watch, like, there's no reason to, but if somewhere around episode 12, I discovered the Adam Carolla show. And I started listening to the Adam Carolla show, because what the idea of this show was, I want to do like an AM, like an FM radio, like a morning zoo, like a talk radio thing. And, but without music, obviously. And then I started listening to the Adam Carolla show, and like, okay, this is kind of the format. So like, I stole that format. Like I took that, I didn't take his bits. I'm not taking his, but the format, what he uses, I kind of brought to my own,
there's nothing wrong with that at all.
But the reason I bring it up is because it's one of those things where I'll think of something and I'll think it's really funny, and then I'll go, there's no way I came up with that on my own. Like, how do you know it's truly yours?
Sometimes, well, first of all, parallel thinking is always going to happen. We all think some of the same shit's always funny. So that's always going to happen. But you can always also tell if you hear a comic saying something word for word for word for word, know he's ripped that shit off. And another time, I mean, you can look at topics that are sometimes when you write a joke like that, Matt, it means that it's probably too easy. Now, not always. Sometimes you just think of something that's just, you're like, dude, this is great. I can't believe no one else is. I've done that before. If you want to, you could sit there and Google search, but now day and age, the crazy thing about this day and age, I will see, there's bits in my show that now I'm starting to see, not my full bit, but I will see something very similar to what I do in the show. And it makes me cringe. It pisses me off a little bit. I'm like, God damn, but it's not my bit, but it's very similar. But that's just going to happen. That's the name of the game. And that's why you also got to keep writing. You got to keep coming up with, keep reinventing your show,
What are the perfect ingredients to a joke? Like what's the outline of a joke? And besides, it's set up punchline, but is there a, do you have a?
Well, to me, the biggest thing is, you want to be relatable with your topic. That's that comedy magic when you sit down and you watch a good stand up and you're like, for some reason, I like this guy. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
For some reason, you like this person. I like this person. And a good joke is always relatable. And for me, this is one thing that I always love doing. And it's the magician, the magic part in me is I love, bringing people down the road, and then yanking it, the carpet out from under them, I love a good misdirectional type joke.
Good gut punch.
I mean, that's constantly my favorite. And another thing, I love making people uncomfortable as hell, and then at the last moment, bam,
relieve that comfort.
I'll tell you, I don't do this gag anymore, but this is a sight gag, which is the same ingredients of a good bit. But whenever things started opening back up after COVID, I would come out on stage wearing a mask. Okay. Now, granted, you got to think automatically that divided my audience. So half the audience, and this was so funny to do to the hardcore conservatives, is because, they're sitting there looking at me and they're like, it's going to be this kind of show. I'm not watching this guy if he's wearing a mask all night, So then, I walk up to the mic and I'm like, hey, you guys care if I take this thing off? These damn things choke me, and of course they're like, take it off, take it off. So then I take the mask off. Now there's this big rubber cock hanging from the inside of the mask. So I'm like, why do they put dicks in these things? But the beauty about that bit, the thing that just gets me off, that's my kink, baby, is because I sit there and see that audience get all tense like they're going to have a bad night. And now they're staring at a big old cock. So it's, and there's smiles on their faces and they're having a good time.
I do enjoy making people look at cocks.
Yeah.
In odd places.
But I mean, to me,
I don't know if you can see Mike's. I don't know if you can see Mike's little background there, but I've got talk, Mike.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
Is that a bird sitting on a? That's a bird on a wiener.
That's what that is.
That's a cockatoo on a cockatoo.
That's a cockatoo on a. Oh my God!
That's a cock or two.
So I tried to put that right where his head is. Only when he moves over do you see it.
But no, a good tension and release moment. That's my favorite.
Well, that's that's a good way to building up the tension does kind of does.
That's why we go to get pressed to the edge of our seat.
Absolutely,
absolutely. And you get people's attention that way.
I don't get real political in my show, but some topics shouldn't be political, which pisses me off. I was doing a show a few weeks back, and normally, I've been doing this long enough. I'm pretty good at reading my audience, but apparently I must have misread a little bit, which I don't give a shit anyways. I was going to do this bit regardless, but I got a bit where I do a straight dad, gay son bit. Yeah. Cause my son's gay, and which is a killer bit that, it normally does great.
You really have a gay son?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
I
just wanted, you said it and I just wanted to make clarify.
Yeah. He was, now I'm not gay, but my sperm gay as fuck. But yes, it's gay. You got to see it. But yeah, I do this bit and it usually kills with especially women. Women really love this bit. Really, really love this bit. And the show, I'm killing. And I do this bit and you could feel the bit didn't hit the way it normally hits. So so the rest of the show went from killing to doing, it was okay. It was a good show. You know what I mean? And it's just sad, like how some things are political that shouldn't be.
Absolutely.
So, that's the other interesting thing about it. So the best a joke can ever be is 80%. Every now and then you're going to hit that 20% audience that's a fucking douche. So.
Yeah.
Well, the dream is always to take that polarizing joke and come out on top, and you can only do that so many nights of the week.
Oh, absolutely. I just thought, I was like, damn, I can't believe these bitches didn't,
And you ever berate your audience like, that was funny, fuck you?
I don't get mad. Well, I do get mad at my audience, but not like that. Like sometimes if it's because when you've been doing it for a long time, like when you first start out, there's no such thing as a bad audience. It's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You're the one that sucks, not the audience. But when you've been doing it a long time, yes, there are such things as shitty audiences. Mm-hmm. And I was doing a show just a few nights back, I felt like, and they were kind of shitty to my opener comics who were damn good comics. But this crowd was being shitty. They just weren't giving them. They were super tight. And I'm in the back. And when that happens, it motivates me to, because my show's really in your face, guys. You're not gonna, I'm throwing shit at you. I'm in your shit.
It's not dinner theater.
Exactly. You
need to pay attention.
You need to pay attention because it's happening. And it just motivated me even more to go out there and just, so, and they don't know I'm angry, but I don't come out cussing them, but I'm, turned up to 12.
Yeah. Huh. So, you mentioned a lot of your friends and you have the opening act. You got anybody you want to line us up with? You mentioned one person you want to talk. If you want to, throw
Absolutely.
some folks our way, because we've kind of run dry on the pod match. We got like 5 interviews left, and I haven't gotten any more matches.
Pod matches are weird. Give me 1 second. I'm going to plug in real quick because
Right on.
I'm blinking over here. Here, hold on. I'll be right back, fellas.
You know what? We're going to break right here then. Go ahead. Do what you got to do.
Perfect break.
Yep. All right. We're talking to Danny Whitson. He is a stand-up comedian, magician. We're going to you can find out more about him at DannyWhitsonMagic.com. I say that? Oh, right. Anyway, and you can find everything Media Virus at themediavirus.com. You can even send me an email at Maddie at themediavirus.com. Give us a call at 646-VIRUS-01. That's 646-VIRUS-01. Did I miss anything, Mike?
I think we're good. That was the B block, and we'll be back right after this.
We'll go take a leak real quick.
Zamboni driver. That's what he did. He was a Zamboni driver. Yeah, what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back. And I too am going to leak.
I'm the only one here. And we're still live streaming. We're talking to Danny Whitson. He is a stand-up comedian, magician. He'll be rejoining us shortly, along with Grease Monkey Pete and Professor Mike Latoris. Oh. I am Matty Rockdeff. We're in a break at the moment. Everyone is using the lavatory. Who's returning? Oh, it is the Professor Mike Latoris is returning.
He's in here. Sorry about that, fellas.
Nope. Until we all took a break. Yeah. We all used the lavatory, powdered our nose.
Turned on the space heater.
Oh. The flurry of text messages and phone calls that you've been hearing on my end or my I guess it's only hours for my niece.
But yeah, definitely, man. I know several guys that would be great to have on here.
Yeah,
man.
we really appreciate that'd be anybody you can send our way.
Definitely will, and I will be sure to I will follow the podcast here and keep up with you guys. And this is
you know what? I was thinking about asking because on our pod match in our like tags and keywords, I only have like funny, comic, and interesting. And I'm not good with descriptions or tags or anything like that. So if you could think of a tag, just one word that would help, that I could add to the tags to help us maybe attract, more folks. You don't have to give it out. You don't have to, if you don't want to.
Were you talking about like more as far as, more traffic to, listeners for the podcast?
I'm thinking it's just a word I can put in the tags, for booking guests to get more guests to be interested. Like
politically incorrect.
What made you say yes to this show?
Dude, I'll be honest right off the bat. I really like the name Media Virus. Was interesting to me, and I clicked on listen to because I always check out a few episodes, listen a little bit. I listen to a little bit of episodes to kind of see what the atmosphere is like, and I think for the most part that's what sells it. You know what I mean? I think that sells. It's a fun podcast. And you got and I think also the fact that you kind of tuck the Adam Carolla approach, it gives a professional feel to it. So this is definitely a professional style podcast. Whether if you guys are naked underneath, if you're not wearing pants or whatever.
As a matter of fact, I was going to come up here and start bitching about. I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. The Levi 501 button fly jeans have been around for 100 years.
Why did they keep changing the pattern? It's got a pattern number. That's what the 501 is.
But here's the thing. The 501 jean has a button fly.
Yes.
Okay. How has this fucking survived for 100 fucking years? How has it happened? You know how inconvenient a button fly. When's the last time you wore button fly jeans and had to take a leak really bad?
Often.
Unsnapping them isn't so bad, but like trying to put you're trying to get like a zipper is so much more convenient. Why are we still like in the 1890s with these fucking pants?
You ever catch your dick in a zipper?
That's a good point.
God, you ever caught your dick in a button? But you know what? To be honest with you, I think that we should have something better than a button and a zipper now because it is 2023.
I feel like Velcro.
Velcro never caught on down there. That's odd, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's kind of chafes against the skin, if you know what I mean.
I guess.
When you're coming out in a hurry, Velcro's a bad deal, bro.
Velcro is a bad deal. See, Mike is the man of reason here. He's bringing sense to us.
I caught myself in a zipper one time.
That's usually all it takes.
Okay, I'm gonna pose you guys. I'm gonna pose you guys an idea. We should market, like the stripper pants, but like as real pants. Like so you can roll into the bathroom and be like, and just
the guy taking a piss. And he just, that actually, I had something similar like that happen to me the other day. I walked into the public restroom and a guy literally had his pants down his ankles, taking a piss, bare ass and all. But here's the great thing. Here's the great thing about it. He wasn't the fucking mayor of Maryland. He wasn't one of those dudes, but he was a special needs guy.
Yeah,
and now
I was actually going
to take a moment
because I have a special needs son. He's 20.
Okay, well here's the beautiful thing about that.
Yeah,
there is because when I saw that at first I was like, oh my God, and then I noticed it was a special needs guy, and I started laughing because when you go back to the not give a shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
What, dude? Special needs people hold a bit of magic inside them that we lose.
No, I firmly believe that. I visit with my son every weekend. Like I said, he's 20, but he's mentally, I would say he's 10, if that. And when we go into public restrooms, it's now he does have a bit of modesty.
Yeah.
So he'll go into the stall and pee if he can. If he's really got to pee and he's at a urinal, he drops trow all the way. But there is he is this beautiful being that just cannot.
There's something enviable about
It
There
really
is something envious.
Yeah,
it
there's
is.
like
And
we wish we could be that like comfortable or just in our own world.
you know what? No, but like
You know,
my son gets you have to like remind him like, yeah, you gotta drink water, bud. Like he's out around, sweating. It's like you need to drink water, bud. You need to.
Now, granted, I have to be reminded of that too, though. So
Oh yeah, well yeah, but he won't even ask, even if he's thirsty.
But that I remember, but I walked out though, and I was just like, that dude, I want to be that guy right there. That was a bit of magic moment. And he's like, I don't give a shit who walks in here. This is how I'm pissing. This is how I'm pissing.
I mean, it can be tough to navigate, especially like, dude, nobody shakes it all out. You know what I mean? When you're done, you can try all you want, but you're going to get a little dribble.
Absolutely.
If you're trying to avoid the dribble, the best way to avoid the dribble is pants around the ankles.
And, especially at our age,
air dry.
At our age, brother, I'll tell you something else. When you stand on stage for a living, one thing you never wear, ever wear is khaki pants, especially in your 40s, because I was doing a show one time, I'm standing up there and I noticed I got this piss ring right around my dick, and my wife was telling me, she's like, I told you not to wear khaki pants, but so yeah, shit happens a lot in your 40s too.
That's a good advice, man. Don't wear khaki pants on stage.
No, do not.
Got to go with the dark blue or the denim, baby.
Absolutely.
That's
Button your
good.
fly.
We got fashion advice in case you piss yourself with Danny Whitson.
Hey, before I get out of here, before I get out here, we got to do a damn magic trick.
Yeah. Love that.
I feel like it's like a weird, shitty obligation thing that you got to do a damn magic trick.
Now, see, here's the thing. I wasn't going to ask because, I know that it's like, you don't want to come on and do your shit for somebody else.
Oh, I mean, I really, it doesn't bother me, but I was like, I feel obligated. Let's do this. Because this is the only bullshit that you could do. Like during the whole damn pandemic, every magician became a freaking mentalist. So we all had to like read minds and bullshit. So I'm going to give this a shot. I don't know, but let me, who I'm going to use tonight. We're going to use Pete. Because
good choice. Pete is here to use.
Pete is here to use. Here we go, Pete. All I want you to do,
like
brother,
a rented mule.
All I want you to do, okay, is I want you to think of one of these cards. Just think it. Don't name it. Just get one in your head. You got it in your head, brother?
Got it in my head.
All right. Don't forget it. Please, God, because if you forget it, I look like a dumbass.
I've got it.
Now, let me ask you, Pete, the card you're thinking of, is it like a high card, a low card, or kind of in between? Don't overthink it, Pete.
The high card.
High card. Okay. I'm afraid he may have overthought, but I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to lose the cards in the deck. Give me a second here. And I'm going to try to hold on. Let me cut the deck here. Let me try something. I don't know, Pete.
I think you fucked it up, Pete.
I've cut you. I think you fucked it all up, but it's okay, Pete. I tell you what,
I'm good at that. I'm doing what I'm best at.
Give you best. I tell you what, I cut the deck. I'm obligated. I can't get out of this shit.
All
Pete,
right.
What is the card that you're only thinking of?
Huh?
What's the card you're thinking of?
Card?
Why am I going to tell you that?
Pete, just tell it. I'm not a goddamn mind reader, Pete. Tell me the card.
But he's a mentalist.
It's the Jack of Spades.
The Jack. You came close and you did fuck it up a little bit because it was the Jack of Clubs, not the Jack of Spades.
Oh,
shit. Jack of Clubs. But
See,
you still did good.
I don't even know my cards.
You didn't even know his card. You did fuck it up a little bit, but it's still good. The Jack of Clubs, ladies and gentlemen, that was Pete's card. Trust me, I know for a fact that was the fucking card. So here we go. Clap. There we go. Here we go, Maddie.
Just pull the card and told him that was his card. No, that wasn't your card. This was your card, fucko.
No, it was. It was.
No, I called it the wrong thing. I said Jack of Spades. I meant Jack.
You meant the Jack of Clubs.
I don't play cards enough.
That's okay.
That's way too long.
Here's one more. One more.
Yeah,
for good to
absolutely.
help.
Awesome.
And everybody gets to play along. And
All right.
even people in YouTube land, if y'all want to do this shit.
Oh shit.
All right, guys, hold on. I'm gonna turn my head and close my eyes. I'm gonna try to read your minds again, okay? Everybody hold your hands up just like this. And I want you to imagine that there's an imaginary ring on your ring finger. Okay? Now, remove that ring and place it on a finger that's closest to your ring finger. It can be either side. It doesn't matter. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Now this time, remove the ring again and place it on the finger that's closest to that one. It doesn't matter what side. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go on a limb here, but I'm going to say the ring is not on your pinky or your thumb. So go ahead and lower those two fingers.
All right.
All right, and we'll do this one more time. Remove the ring again and place it on the finger closest to it. You got it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now lower the two fingers that don't have a ring on it. I'm picking up negative energy here, you asshole. Damn.
I like that.
You
I
flip
like
your
that
guest off. All right, that's how you treat me.
That's a media virus joke if I ever saw one.
Oh,
Thank
my
you
God.
very much. Danny Whitson. Check me out on DannyWhitsonMagic.com. Thank you for your time today, man. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Anybody you can send our way, you've got my email address.
You got it. And can I plug something real quick here?
Absolutely. Please do.
And if you're listening, Nashville, Tennessee, come out and see me at the City Winery, April 8th. It's going to be me, and I'm bringing an opening comic, Jessica Carter, very funny comedian. Also, check me out on Instagram at Super Magic Boy. I post where I'm going to be there a lot. And also, if you've got Tubi or Plex, but I want to say Tubi's the big one right now. I'm in a movie that you guys
Holy
need to
shit!
check out.
What the fuck's wrong with me?
It's a comedy horror movie called now bear with me, it's called WJHC AM. It's a radio station name, stands for Jesus H Christ. WJHC AM. You can streaming now on Tubi, and it's a comedy horror movie about the end of days. So definitely
What the fuck?
definitely
I'm
check
sorry.
it out.
I didn't bring that up earlier.
Streaming live on Tubi, not live,
Tell you
but
what,
streaming.
man,
on
I feel
Tubi.
like there's a bunch of stuff that we haven't like covered with you. We'd love to have you back.
Absolutely.
If you want to come back, we'd really appreciate it. You know, we'd love to have you on.
Absolutely. Would love to, man. Love to. This has been a blast. You guys are great.
Appreciate it, man. You're pretty terrific. You've been a great guest, and we appreciate all your time. We know you've been very generous with your time. You're already 45 minutes over what you said before. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys are fun, man. And definitely, dude, let me get back because, this is a good time.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for coming, sir.
Thank you. See you, Pete.
All right.
And with that, I'm going to take us into Just the Tips with our BBC correspondent, Big Daddy. As soon as I get my shared. Just the Tips with Stanley McFadden.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Media Virus Podcast. It is I, the one and only Big Daddy, Professor Big Technology from the U of V, bringing at you another episode of Just the Tips. Tonight's episode 30. And tonight is a very simple message. Very simple tip, very simple idea. Ladies, fuck yo man. That's it. Here's the thing, ladies. We men are very, very simple creatures. We love sex. We crave sex. We crave it like food and air and water. It is embedded in our personalities. It is embedded in our DNA. It is a part of the character and characteristics that formulate our personality. That's how much we enjoy it. That's how important it is to us as people, as men. Part of your responsibility, ladies, if you wish to keep your man and keep your man happy, is to make sure that that man is satisfied. As simple as that is, y'all like to overcomplicate it. It's not difficult. Fuck that man. Suck that man's dick. Suck that dick. Can you imagine how much better the world would be if every man who left for work in the morning did so after getting a sloppy toppy BJ? Can you imagine how much less road rage there would be? Just a collection of calm, happy dudes just
Everybody
letting people merge, just letting people in front of them in traffic, just calm, happy, freshly sucked off dudes, just loving life for another moment. See, as men, nobody really gives a fuck about our mental and emotional health. So things like blowjobs, things like early morning sex is our equivalent to medication. And we all need our medicine. Some of you ladies like to withhold sex, whether it be to punish that man or to make him earn it, or however the hell you want to phrase it and justify it in your brain. Withholding sex from a man is akin to withholding water from a dehydrated person. Do you understand how strong that pull is? These are the things that drive men to be unfaithful. It's not because we necessarily want to be. It is our instinct to crave sex. And we crave it with you, with our significant other. But when you deny us those things that drive us, then we crave it from wherever we can get it. If you needed air, you're underwater, and you need air, and you are desperate from air, do you really care where that air is coming from? No. You're just going to do whatever you can to get a little bit of oxygen, to take another breath, to save your life just a few seconds longer. And that's what that drive is like for us in sex. That's how much we crave it. That's how strong that craving is. So if you, ladies, are withholding sex from your man, then you should not be surprised. You should not be angry. You should not be upset, irritated, vexed, whatever, when he goes and he finds it somewhere else. Yes, we absolutely can take care of some of that business with, Pringles can or a hand and some Jergens lotion, but it ain't the same. It does not satisfy the same craving as you satisfy for us. It's really that simple. We want it, and we want it from you. So ladies, loosen up them panties and get with that. Make that man happy. It's really all that needs to be said. Big Daddy, Media Virus Podcast, episode number 30. Signing off. Until then, happy fucking.
And that was our BBC correspondent, Big Daddy, with just the tips. As always, he recommends fellatio. It's the 30th episode where he's recommended
Fellatio.
So that's we got a pretty good running streak of, just the tips.
Yeah.
And that's also become its own podcast. We failed to mention that to Danny, but that's become its own podcast.
Yeah. Spun itself out. It's a Thursday release.
That's right.
Got to program some more of those soon.
Now I guess we're just gonna take a walk around the corner.
Yeah, we are. Get that lined up here. And here we are in the TikTok nonsense corner, also known as laughing at white people.
I think I sent some choice selections this week.
There are some good things in here.
Oh yeah. What is this?
Oh my god!
Ways to die.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
We're witnessing this person.
That's one of my favorite sound bites on TikTok right now.
This person is falling and her parachute failed. That was a TikTok. The fact they had footage from her camera, so they had to go up to her body, and collect that footage and put it on TikTok.
Yeah,
this is where we are as a society.
Yep.
The only reason I put that there, I was like, wow, I'm witnessing this woman die, and I need to,
or at least be injured in a
severely
terrible way.
Severely injured.
It did not indicate whether or not she made it through the fall, but yeah.
What language is that's written there?
Not even sure.
Not English.
Yeah, definitely. I understand that. But I mean, I suppose you could hazard that maybe it was like her phone transmitting it to somewhere.
No, somebody collected a GoPro with a TF card in it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the scary part.
Oh my god!
We don't need to hear that again. That was a lot.
But I had to get to the next panel here.
Yeah.
And I don't remember which one starts it. So hold on tight. Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, this guy.
I keep learning new words all the time, and this is my favorite word so far. This is the best word here. I didn't know about this until recently, but I'm sure you know this.
Finland.
The meaning of the word, it means that you have now poured enough coffee into my cup, and it goes like. Did you know? I didn't know about that. I didn't know, but now I do, and I love it. It's so good. I use it all the time. It took me some time to figure out how to spell it, but now I have it. Now actually I use it as my password.
He had a bit years ago about the word shit.
He's done shit. He's done ass. Yeah. And
he's English is his second language, and what he does is in English picks apart English speakers, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
But what TikTok do we have next?
I just found out cockfighting was done with roosters. 6 months of training, out the door.
Who sent that in?
I did.
Okay. Jesus Christ. That was good.
Some people think that most things that I'm saying is a big conspiracy, that is impossible because it would involve too many people that would have to keep their mouth shut. And yes, it would be nearly impossible to keep a big group of people to shut their mouths and make them cooperate in some evil plan. But the thing is, you don't have to. Like any hierarchy, you tell the person below you just enough so they know what to do. This goes from the elites at the top all the way down to the journalist that works for the newspaper. And as long as all these people are getting their paychecks and are able to go home at 5 o'clock to fuck their wives and watch Netflix, they don't give a flying fuck about the impact that their work has. You don't need some big conspiracy to get things done. All you need is money. And remember this, it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled.
There you go.
I love hearing the Dutch present in English like that.
Yeah. I mean, but I really wish, it's a shame that Danny couldn't stick around with us because, I mean, that leads into exactly what he was talking about with his hometown, how there's no center.
Yep.
Because they needed to keep everybody, like, they didn't want people talking. Because the sharing of information is damaging. And as long as these people could go home and fuck their wives and watch TV,
everything was okay.
Everything was fine.
Meanwhile, they didn't care that they were building like weapons of mass destruction.
Exactly.
There's a couple of great documentaries out there that you can stream on Oak Ridge that explain that. And it really is. It's an amazing concept that all of a
dug
sudden
into like how he's like
built this
his dad
town.
worked there. Yeah. But what we got next?
Next up, we've got another panel of 3.
Oh, that's always fun.
And again, I don't remember our beginning.
Mankind. When the first men walked on all fours, what was right in their faces but the posterior? Then, when mankind started walking on 2 legs, we stopped having round butts in our faces all day, every day, and to take their place, something new appeared in front of our faces. Titties. Women's breasts continued growing throughout the ages, taking the place of the butt as a carnal focus, but the original source of desire was the badonk. Boobs are a substitute, frankly. Tits are merely a pale imitation trying to take glory from the buttocks. If asked would I rather have a copy or the original, I would choose the original, naturally. Boobs have evolved to jut out in front of us as a greeting to the world, while the buttocks remain hidden around the back, waiting their turn, coyly drawing attention in true erotic
That's enough.
I was really hoping that Stanley McFadden would be joining us. I wanted to get his opinion on this theory.
Yeah.
So
it is an interesting theory.
It is an interesting. I found it fascinating, and I did. There's a lot of truth to it. I can definitely. If you look at a posterior, look at a butt, they're titties. It's very, very similar.
Yeah.
But what's the next video have to say? I don't remember this. So. These were toy soldiers riding a caterpillar. German music in the background.
I just found that very funny.
I mean, it was very entertaining. It's just as an audio presentation, I had to explain what was going on.
Yeah, the little miniature soldier.
Very funny. If you go, we've been live streaming the whole time. So if you're listening to this podcast, you're like, God, I really wish I could have seen that video. Yeah, you fucking can. You can just go fucking look at it.
Check it out under lives on our YouTube.
That's right.
And you'll also see this guy.
We gotta stop letting like Gen X and baby boomers like pretend like they didn't make us who we are. Like they blame us for so much, but just like y'all raised us, y'all made us this way. Y'all looked us in our eyes when we were kids. And y'all were like, you can be whatever you want to be as long as you put your mind to it. You can do whatever you want to do. And then we grew up and we were like, I want to be a woman, and they were like, what the fuck? And you were like, no, I'm calling you bluff, dude. You said I could be whatever the fuck I wanted to be. Now let me go get these titties and stop being weird. I'm gonna come back with some cups, get real sassy. Because you said I could be whatever the fuck I wanted to be. You idiots, you know? And it was like all these kids with these participation trophies. Y'all made the fucking trophies. What are you talking about? It's wild. Yeah.
I found that very funny. And it's funny that like all the shit we were actually talking about in the show, it winds up on the TikTok corner. Yes, I saw the TikTok and it did spark a thought, and of course, but it's just weird that so much content would be.
Yeah, and honestly, they're not necessarily conversations that you let us into. So
No, right, exactly. Just
it's really a neat thing. Make sure we send our make sure we let Danny know about our C block and what happens in it. So
break it up and send it to him.
Next up.
I saw this kid on the street the other day wearing like rags, dirty clothes. I looked at him like, "Are you an orphan?" He goes, "Yeah, what gave me away? Parents."
It's the greatest
puppet.
That's the greatest puppet. I swear to God, I love that joke.
That is the reason I've continued to lobby for Staff Writer Bill to do puppets.
Yeah, well,
content like that.
Puppets get away with a lot.
And that's how you start a fire with a rat carcass and a tampon. Remember, you're gonna need a ton of gasoline and some matches.
Take charge, Toby.
We used to call gasoline an ancient Indian fire trick. And whenever we go, teenagers, we go camping. Whenever we went camping, of course, I'm bringing gasoline. I'm not. I actually, what's funny? I smoking. I always had a Zippo. I always had fluid. In Boy Scouts, I always won the fire building contests.
Well, yeah. You were prepared.
But we always had gas. Like, oh, you know what we need? We need the secret, the ancient Indian secret.
Do you happen to know if Ricky Rockdeff is watching the show tonight?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Okay.
Why?
I just wanted to make sure I'm safe.
Okay.
I felt like like a Puerto Rican in this hair.
Oh, dude.
I felt Puerto Rican. Y'all know
You don't know how many times a day we quote that. I feel like Puerto Rican in this hair. Her dad says it. Her dad, is Puerto Rican. Her dad is bald. Nothing. I said, we're Puerto Rican in this hair.
I laughed. My wife, she was there on the couch while I was putting this together, and she's like, "You're putting that in the show?" Like, yeah. She said, well, "Isn't Ricky Rockdeff like Puerto Rican?"
Oh no, that's a saying that we say to each other.
I said she's also like Portuguese, so I got a 50-50 shot on this one.
What's Oh, this was, I love
The most decorated dog in history was fighting in the trenches of World War I. He alerted his sleeping human companions to an unusual smell, saving them from a gas attack. When a German spy infiltrated his unit, he identified the intruder and held him down by the seat of his pants until American soldiers could arrive. When the street dog first wandered into the training of the 102nd Infantry Regiment in New Haven, Connecticut, he took a strong liking to Private Robert Conroy and began drilling with the soldiers. But when he was caught by their commanding officer, he was nearly dishonorably discharged until he raised his paw and saluted him and was allowed to stay. Running across no man's land to locate wounded soldiers, serving in 17 battles, and surviving being injured twice by shrapnel, legends of the canine's courage quickly spread through the ranks. When the French town of Chateau Thierry was liberated, the grateful women of the area even sewed him a special coat on which to hang his many medals. Returning home, he led a great number of parades, was featured in every national newspaper, was awarded 3 bones a day by the YMCA, and even met 3 presidents. When you're the first war dog to win the heart of America, they don't just call you history's most decorated dog. They call you Sergeant Stubby.
The whole time first of all, I love war dogs.
Yeah.
I love them. And not that we use war dogs, but the fact that they're so obedient, they're so trusting. Mm-hmm. We used to strap bombs to German or I think the Germans did it. We strapped bombs to German shepherds and they would go across under the tank, blow the fuck up.
Yep.
But I also thought that dog bared a strong resemblance to Dickie.
Yeah, the bully likeness, absolutely.
Maybe he was a little bit bigger than Dickie, but he might be Dickie might be his great grandson or something.
There could be relation there,
and that could be he's so aggressive because he comes from war stock, dude. It
is a possibility.
So let's all just take a minute and think about Sergeant Stubby.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie. Dumb ways to die.
again, I think that we just witnessed that man's last moments.
Right?
Like there's unless he quickly rolled and got his head away from that. Why would anybody do that? Like, what is the point?
It does look pretty stupid, right?
Yeah. Okay. You know, if you're listening, this is a man, and he's in a trampoline park with, I don't know, about 300 pounds of weight, and it's hard to tell. He jumps off a platform
about 5 feet up.
At 5 feet up, he loses the weights, and they are coming straight down on his head, and they cut the video. These videos are disturbing. Like, some of them are cute, and it's
These
just
are like faces of death.
yeah. I mean, we're really getting into like watching people's last fucking moments at this point on TikTok.
Yeah,
like TikTok is the new snuff film.
Yep, there's some serious darkness on TikTok.
It's weird. Of course, it all shows up on my feed.
Right. And that is our TikTok corner.
That is our TikTok nonsense corner. We've watched 2 deaths and heard about Sergeant Stubby and heard a sock puppet tell a very, very, very off-color joke.
Yes.
And I think we've covered everything there is to cover. Do we miss anything this week, Mike?
No. I mean, we definitely miss Big Daddy, but he's not going to be joining us. So
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
we'll have to continue to miss him. What we don't want to miss is Danny Whitson's website, DannyWhitsonMagic.com, where you can see all kinds of stuff about Danny and what he does and how he does it and where you might go see him do it. If you were here on the show with us tonight, you know that Danny seems to be a really cool stand-up guy, and we're likely to have him back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you can find out more about Danny at DannyWhitsonMagic.com. You can find out everything there is to know about the Media Virus at themediavirus.com. You can always give us a call. Leave us a message at 646-VIRUS-01. 646-VIRUS-01. You can call. Well, if you leave us a stupid message, we're going to play it on the air. That's the fun part. I think that's it. Did I miss anything, Mike?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. Do we have a guest lined up for next week yet?
We absolutely do. Next week is we have a great guest. He's an author. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. I don't know.
Okay.
I gotta, because he's not booked through Podmatch.
Right.
I have an email conversation with him.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember.
Well, we'll see who can get there the fastest. Guessing it's going to be you because things are loading slowly over here. However, I might. Maybe. Come on. Booking schedule. I'm getting there. And it's March. Let's see. Next week, it appears that on the 15th, we'll talk to John Bernardo.
That's what I was going to say that the whole time. God damn it. Cut that out, Mike.
John Bernardo, johnbernardo.com. And he is a writer dealing with life's absurdities, one sentence at a time.
Oh.
Sounds like he might be a funny guy as well. So next week on the Media Virus, we talk to John Bernardo, and we'll probably have another Just the Tips, maybe a top 3 for you. And you'll get to hear some more of these new bumpers that I made, just like the one we're going to play as we go out. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Danny Whitson, Grease Monkey Pete, and our fearless leader, Matty Rockdeff, I'm Professor Mike LaTorres, coming from to you live, high atop Uncle Butch Studios. This has been the Media Virus Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Raspberry Teabag!
Force me burrito.